Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed. I appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan. Welcome to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Today I wanted to dive into different strategies that the Ravens may take for the remainder of the offseason. Do they go the expensive, all-in DeAndre Hopkins route? Or do we divide that money that we have left to different positions of need to add depth to those positions, such as corner or edge? There's still a lot of good free agents out there, and there's going to be a lot more cut throughout the remainder of the offseason. There's always post-June 1st cuts. I was looking through some of the best remaining free agents. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins heads the list. That's who we've been talking about these last couple days. It's been all over national media. Where's this guy going to go? We don't know. Just reports that I've been reading across the league is that he's looking for a significant contract. It kind of seems in my mind like he's looking at this as like his last payday. He's an aging wide receiver, over 30. Does seem like this might be his last chance to cash in. So if he's looking for more financial security, I do understand that. He might not chase a ring and go with a rebuilding team or a younger team. And he might not take one of these attractive options that he keeps talking about. Or the contract doesn't have as much weight as we may think from these reports, and he's going to pivot and join one of these powerhouse teams like the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, teams that we've been talking about. I don't know. I really don't know. If the Ravens go that route and get DeAndre Hopkins, we're all in, and there are massive benefits. Obviously, there's not as talented of a player left in free agency as DeAndre Hopkins, and it's always good to add the best player available. And that's the Ravens strategy and always has been, building through the draft and things like that. The risk becomes there's a salary tied to this. And even if we keep it a one-year deal, we're going to add void years so we keep this cap number down like we did with Odell. So Odell's $15 million with incentives up to $18 million. He added void years onto that. And next year's dead cap hit for Odell's $12 million. So if we do that with Hopkins, it's going to be something similar to that. We can't be paying... And obviously we may extend one of those guys if we do sign him, but we can't be paying all this dead money for guys that aren't on our team anymore. So the Hopkins route financially is a risk, especially when you add those void years in combination with Odell. You kind of have two risky contracts there. But it is an all-in strategy, and I think the Ravens are being extremely aggressive this year. I wouldn't be surprised. Would I love to have DeAndre Hopkins? Absolutely. Do I think we need him to win? That depends if Bateman and Odell can stay healthy. If the core starters are playing most of the season, I feel like we're good. I feel like we got enough receivers right now. We've been talking about how happy we were about this revamped receiving room, but then Hopkins gets on the market and it's like, oh, we need him. I don't think we need him, but if you think that Odell and Bateman aren't going to hold up, which I totally understand that argument. They have injury concerns, both of them. Bateman hasn't been able to stay healthy since he came in the league, and Odell hasn't played football in almost 2 years. And he's coming off a major surgery. So, I understand the injury concerns. Getting DeAndre Hopkins would shore all of that up. We'd be absolutely stacked at wide receiver, and that position would be done. But I also think outside of maybe a very minor move, our offseason could potentially be done without restructuring Stanley and Humphrey and these guys' contracts. So, which also then creates some financial risk. So, I think the Ravens are willing to take that on, and I'm all in on to getting Hopkins. And that's one route we could go. But let's say they're not going to even offer Hopkins a contract, and Hopkins either goes somewhere to a contender or gets a nice payday from a worse team that has the cap room. Let's say the Ravens don't go that route. Now where are they going? We still could use a corner. I know there's been a split between should we get Marcus Peters or not. I'm for getting Marcus Peters just because he knows the system. He's tossed in as another outside with Rock Ya-Sin, and they can kind of give each other a break. And I know Peters is getting older and has been exposed, and I don't know if I trust him to be the sole guy all year long, but we also have Rock Ya-Sin and a ton of youth depth there. So I just want another corner piece. I just want another vet, solid corner opposite of Marlon Humphrey. We know Marlon Humphrey's a rock. And Rock Ya-Sin, I think, is a great signing. I just want one more. I think we need another corner. You can never have enough corners. So I'd love to see them go get a corner, possibly Marcus Peters, Anthony Averett, who's been here before. There's a couple of guys that I just wouldn't mind. I just want more depth at corner. And also edge. There's a ton of veteran edge guys still available. I was just looking through the free agent list, and we got Yannick Ngakoue. He's been here before. It didn't really pan out. This is a new defense, but I don't think we would take him just because it didn't go very well, and he wasn't great against the run. Jadeveon Clowney's interesting. He's great against the run. He hasn't been getting to the quarterback like he should. He is getting older. But I'm just looking for some rotational depth with the young guys. Dafe Owe and David Ajabo are going to be the guys. But we need that Justin Houston rotation guy, veteran presence to come in and be able to get to the quarterback as well. I'd love to bring Justin Houston back if we can. I think he'd come cheap. I think he would come back. I'm just not sure if he's even going to play this season. Or maybe he's looking for a little bit more money as well since it might be his last ride. But I would love Justin Houston back. I'd be cool with Jadeveon Clowney. Leonard Floyd's available. Melvin Ingram, Frank Clark, Justin Houston. So there's a lot of edge guys there that I think we can get really good value for. So right now we have like $11 million in cap room. That's without restructuring or doing anything else. We could sign a Marcus Peters, Anthony Averett, and a Justin Houston, Frank Clark, one of those guys. We can sign two of those. You also have to think about all the salary cap casualties that'll be cut after June 1st throughout these OTAs and mini camp and up until the start of training camp and even during training camp. There's so many people that start hitting the market. There's going to be a lot more signings, and the Ravens always seem to go grab a guy. So I think they'll keep an extra couple million in there. And we can restructure. We can go restructure contracts. We have long-term big salaries on our team that we can go restructure and create all the cap room we need. Do push the can down the road, and it becomes a future financial risk. So I know the Ravens are all in. I've seen that with their aggressiveness this offseason. With this next week or two or however long it takes to start bringing in some more guys, because they will sign some more guys, will be very telling. Are we trying to build the deepest team possible and shore up all the holes? Or are we going in for the big splashes and adding as much talent as possible like a DeAndre Hopkins? My prediction is that we sign a few more veteran guys and we go for value. And we fill all the holes. We add back a Marcus Peters, a Justin Houston, Frank Clark. We make a veteran edge signing, and we'll add in a post-June 1st signing for someone else that gets cut that's not even available right now. I can see all of those happening. Would I love Hopkins? Do I think it's extremely exciting? Absolutely. I'd be pumped to have DeAndre Hopkins. It'd be the most exciting offense that we've ever had in Baltimore. This year might be the most exciting offense we've ever had in Baltimore anyway, but adding Hopkins would ensure that for sure. Incredible insurance to the receiver room, and I understand going that route. I think if I was the person doing it, I would go talk to DeAndre and see what see what that market looks like, because I think I'd lean just going all in with Hopkins. It does suffer the Rashad Bateman development a little bit. That's a fact. But it ensures the injury concerns as well, and I think that's really important. If we have a couple more injuries at receiver, we're going to be doing the dance that we've been doing the last few years. It might be slightly better, but it's not a great position to be in. And a guy like DeAndre Hopkins is just not always available. So I think we should go get him. But what do I think the Ravens are going to do? I'm going to think a lot more logically and say that they're going to go spread their money out, 2 to 3 more value signings, and just really solidify this team's depth. There's a ton of different ways we can go. No one truly knows until it happens. It's going to be super interesting. I can't wait to see how this DeAndre Hopkins thing plays out. Is he going to go for money, or is he going to take a little bit less and go to one of these contenders? I'd love to see him in Baltimore. But I also wouldn't mind us being smart financially and just building depth as well. And I think that's the way the Ravens might go based off their history, but this has been a unique offseason, so I really don't know. Leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you're thinking. Which way are the Ravens going to go the rest of this offseason? Who might we sign? Who do you want us to sign? What's your wish list? And then also, what do you think the team will do? I just want to thank you guys for supporting the channel this early. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.